Hello and welcome to the Backroads. My name's Jared and this is Project MR2. This is my 1995 Toyota MR2 GT T-Bar. Difficult to say 5 times. It's a T-top car with the very essential pop-up headlights. Any vehicle without them, questionable. Bought it back in July last year in 2020, very irresponsibly, 6 days after starting a new job. But live a little, and I'd wanted one since I was about 15 years old. So finally got it. There's a few things that aren't quite as they seem with the car, a few very light modifications, but it's largely very clean MR2, which has been looked after well, and I'm trying to continue to look after it as well, and I want to document that and bring you all along with the journey for that. Okay guys, so now we're going to walk through the car. If you follow me here. First of all, we've got the pop-up headlights, essential for any car. These probably the same ones that are on the Celica, to be honest. Toyota parts bin specials, but they're great. Then we've got our 5-spoke wheels, original OEM 15-inch Toyota specs. This car is pretty much stock because I'm quite bland, and there's only very minor things, which we'll see in a second, of what's been done to it. As we come back, we see the essential T-top windows, which pop out in a beautiful fashion with lots of jiggling around. And now, in February in the UK, I can freeze my arse off and it will be lovely. And we'll try and pop those back on quickly. There we go. They tuck in very nicely behind the seats, which I will show you soon. Coming to back, big boy spoiler. This is the revision-free spoiler of the MR2s. There's Rev 1 to 5. Rev 5s have a different combat wing, which is adjustable, which does look a bit cooler than this, I think. But if you favor a low profile look, this is what you want. And I'm more leaning towards the combat wing because I think it is a bit more obnoxious and I like that. But we'll find that out at some point later if I get that. Down here we have our, I think they're called kooky lights. I don't know how you say them. I'm going to be shot for that by someone. But these are kind of the more desired lights for the MR2 with these ridiculous moldings for the indicators. And this is what we're working on today, which, what is he doing? This is what we're working on today in our next episode of Project MR2 is the exhaust. So we've got a twin exit exhaust system on here. It's standard, you know, catalytic converter because it's a 95 car. We'll be changing this out for a Mongoose system in the next episode, so keep an eye out for that one. So it hasn't got much low end noise. High end, it's a bit of a screecher past 3.5, but it's great noise inside the engine bay, which is what we'll go to next. So we just do the painful part of popping the bonnet, boot lid, engine cover, whatever you call it. It's confusing when you've got a mid-engine car, but here we go. In here, I have the 2-litre naturally aspirated free SGE engine, which is in the Celica and the MR2. It might be in one of the kind of JDM spec Lexuses potentially as well, not sure. The only modification we've got in here is a cold air induction kit. It's not a K&N. I don't know what it is. One of the previous owner fitted it, but sounds amazing. Power, I think, is less, but I'd rather have less power and have that noise because it's amazing, especially right behind your head. It's perfect. It's just a standard 5-speed gearbox in here as well, but it's unfettered with. It's been lightly refreshed electrics wires, and we've serviced it with new HT leads, spark plugs, all that lot. Let's show you something fun that confuses a lot of people actually, which I keep forgetting. So I can take the T-tops off, which I won't be doing much in February because it's freezing, but it's great fun for cruising. Very easy to get off with just a quick latch. Go back on. And then the painful bit about them is, stowed behind the seats, we have our covers, which aren't on the car, which you'll notice, because my head doesn't fit. So I'm blinded by the sun whenever I drive. So I keep sunglasses just tucked away in here. Oh dear, I have to sort that soon. Sunglasses just tucked away in there so I can actually see. It's lovely clickable. Now, into the interior of the car. Should I get in?
Go for it.
Oh, it's a tight squeeze because I'm 5'11" for reference to him on and quite chubby. But in here we've got the, it's a 95 car, so no airbags. So I've got the nice simple 3-spoke wheel in here. Got an aftermarket, but period Sony stereo in here. It's an air-conditioned car. Doesn't work. I don't think any of them work at this point. It's expensive to take the air conditioning out, and it's expensive to repair it as well. You don't really need it, not in England. You'll need it for 2 weeks of the year, and that's it. We've got plenty of cubby holes in here. Got a lovely glove box, which has details for a car that we might see later on, because I just picked it up this morning. And further cubby holes here. It's a very practical car to some people. To me, I don't carry anything. These seats, I'll come out now so we can get a proper look at the seats. These seats are actually from a Honda S2000, which is a bit of sacrilege to have put Honda seats in a Toyota. Previous owner, before the one I bought it off of, did it. It's a bit confusing though, because he would have had to do custom fabrication for all the seats. They work perfectly, but why he's done it, I don't know. They're very comfortable though, give it a great modern look to the interior. And a bit of a party piece of the mid-engineness. I'll show you what could potentially be the second engine. Is it? We'll find out. Ta-da! It's a spare wheel and a wheel brace for if I break down. And beyond the spare wheel is the battery, which they don't make anymore. So it's, I don't want to buy a new one because it's going to have to be a bit of a bodge job to do that. This was a mistake. I should have been more prepared for this. As you can see, it needs nothing but delicacy to put everything back in place. There we go. And there we go. That's just a brief walk around of Project MR2. So why did I choose to get the Toyota MR2? It all started back in about 2016. I was 15, helping out at a car auction, and I saw a Mark 1 MR2. It was blue, a bit darker than this, but it blew me away. It was, first thing I noticed was the price. They were cheap. They're going up in value, but they're still reasonably affordable. This one cost me £3,500 at 134,000 miles. But the idea that you can get something that's built the same as a Ferrari or something, which the main comparison, and it pains me, and people who do body kits of them with Ferraris, please stop. I want to buy a clean MR2 turbo in the future that doesn't look like a 355 or something ridiculous like that. But I'd wanted one for about 4 years, and finally managed to get myself a new job back in July, and irresponsibly, 6 days into it, I accidentally opened Marketplace on Facebook and I saw this for sale. And I couldn't really afford it. So I managed to call in some favours and managed to pick up the car within a few days after that. Never could test drive it because being a young driver at 19, I couldn't test drive it. My insurance did not exist for it. So it resulted in just sitting in the passenger seat and going, yeah, I think this is fine. This feels like a car, drives like a car. I want the car. I bought the car. That's what leaves us here today. So everything, all the stories of the MR2 being dangerous to drive, like absolute handfuls with the whole snap oversteer, it's all overdone. It's largely down to driver error. If you do your research, you'll figure out how to stop it. I'm a very average driver. I don't claim to be any good at it, and I've managed to handle it quite fine, and it drives brilliantly, exceeds all expectations. If you're looking for something alternative for like a first sports car that isn't like an MX-5 or like an E46 BMW, not sports car, but similar categories, consider MR2, they're great. So I just want to finish off this video today, say thank you very much to LUDEN Automotive for letting us in their amazing space to shoot this video. We're looking forward to seeing you in the next one, where we will be fitting a brand new backbox exhaust to get this sounding a bit fruitier. Thank you very much. This has been Jared with the Backroads, and this is the end of Project MR2 Episode 1.